that happened during the week. Dr. Giglio, I refer to the public inquiry of the assassination of Daphne Caruana Galizia and the former Prime Minister, Joseph Muscat. I quote Joseph Muscat saying that the police clarified, "I am not under investigation." That happened this afternoon. Could you give us your comments?
Basically, the development was that the police sent for Joseph Muscat. They sent for him to go to the depot. They sent for him because they wanted to interrogate him. He went to the depot accompanied by a lawyer. He came out of the depot stating that the police have told him that he was never suspected or that he's not being suspected for this crime. That is all we know, really. So we would be speculating a lot if we try to come to any other conclusion. It is obviously strange that this has happened, and it has happened only now, because I think that there was a situation whereby it should have been spoken to ages ago. It is a known fact that when we are dealing with investigations, the very, very initial steps and the initial phases of an investigation are the most sensitive ones, and the ones when the police have to act and to have to act very fast and to have to act very decisively. In this particular case, notwithstanding the fact that there was a lapse of so much time now,
yes,
he was sent for today, which is the first time that it happened. Usually when you are going to the police headquarters, if you are a person who is not a suspect in an offense, you do not usually take your lawyer with you. In this particular case, Joseph Muscat felt the need to be accompanied and to be flanked by his lawyer. But anything more than that would be pure speculation.
Sure, sure. And also, I mean, I'd like to refer also to the dreadful double murder this week that took place in one of the best residential areas in Malta. We have been inundated by requests to find out more from residents, particularly of the area, in the Sliema area. That's the second double murder that's still unsolved. Obviously, it's just happened in under 10 years. And what would you say to residents of a place that you know very well also?
Sliema also is particular in the sense that there are a plurality of residents who are elderly and live alone, although in this particular case we are definitely not speaking about elderly. Sliema is becoming a place where it's highly cosmopolitan, I would say, and this could bring certain difficulties with it. Of course, it is worrying. Of course, it is not something, however, which is only confined to the area of Sliema. It is something which is widespread, really, around the country. It's not just the double murder that has worried. Obviously, the double murder is shocking. It's scary when you think about it. Also, when you think as to how it happened and how fast it happened and where it happened. That is an area which is in Sliema, Squisisana, which is one of the areas which is frequented usually with a lot of people walking around. It's also a question, there is also another problem which I have encountered, especially recently in these days, which is break-ins. Break-ins, especially in houses of elderly. So people have to be very careful. I have my parents who live there, I have my in-laws who live there, other friends of mine who live there, who we are facing situations where people are sometimes coming on the doors, asking for money. People are very careful whether to open or not to open, but it's a phenomenon that is going on at the moment, which I hear from various people, including, to be honest, my own parents. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they give them the excuse that they tell them, listen, I know your son, can you please help us, we won't need 50 euros. I try to keep on convincing my mother that she shouldn't be opening, but anyway, sometimes it's speaking to a brick wall. But this is a big problem. Sure. It is a big problem. It is not only related to Sliema, I must admit. It is related to the country in general. Crime is on the increase, and crime is on the increase also for the reasons that we are explaining. Whatever the reasons relating to this double murder, it remains a very heinous crime which has sent shockwaves both within the Sliema community but within the country in general. And we sincerely hope, beyond hope, that the police would manage to solve this case Another problem that COVID brings with it, for example, which also leads to an increase in criminality, is that the police resources are stretched today.
Absolutely,
They are
yes.
stretched even to go to see if people who should be in quarantine are in quarantine. They are
Absolutely.
stretched to make sure if these protocols are being adhered to. So they are also trying to enforce. So even this brings with it an additional problem.
Absolutely.
An additional problem that enforcement is stretched to the limits.
Absolutely.
And we
The
cannot, I
police,
wish to
the
conclude
police.
by, in actual fact, saying a big thank you to both the frontliners who we refer to, who are the nurses, carers, but also to all those people who work in law enforcement agencies. They are doing an incredible job. If you go to the Sliema police station and to the St. Julian's police station, they can't even breathe with the amount of loads that they have on them, and they are literally trying to do miracles with the very enormous and big problems that they have. It's police, it's law enforcement, wardens, anyone. We cannot but not also thank them for the work that they are doing in these very difficult times.
Thank you. And should anyone obviously have any information regarding that Sliema crime, they're to contact the police.
Yes,
Right.
of course, there are the usual numbers, which everybody knows. And yes, clearly, and they have also got to keep in mind, this is an important point that you're making, that when the police ask for information, the rules of confidentiality are very, very strictly observed and adhered to. So nobody needs to be afraid of any information that he might have, which he would want to give forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I wish to thank you very much for today. I am with Dr. Joe Giglio, Professor Mark Brinkat, the Honourable Christy De Bono. I thank you very much for watching. On behalf of my colleagues here at Net TV, we wish to offer our condolences to the victims' families. Thank you very much. Good night.